So, all right, guys. So today's guest is Jason Cardona. I hope I'm not butchering your last name, bro.
No, you got it, bro.
Good, cool. He's an online fitness coach who let his Bank of America job is going all in on his coaching business. He's helping leaders get shredded, transform their lives, which is awesome. I feel like when you tie in fitness to success, there's literally no way you're not gonna be successful, because if you can master fitness, dude, it's almost inevitable. But honestly, he's about to make a huge leap, and I'm honestly curious to know where he's going, because I definitely want the viewers to kind of have a little mystery towards the end to where you're going, you know. But we're gonna go and unpack his story and his mindset, because this actually happened because he actually came by for a haircut, which is great, because it gives me a chance to meet people beforehand and stuff and other good stuff. And I was like, dude, this is a good fit. Like, you know, he's a fitness coach and all that good stuff. So, you know, why not? Let's have him on. Plus, he has a very cool story that I feel like a lot of people can resonate with. And he's also a coach, like I said before, you know. But yeah, man. So take it away, dude. So.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks, Paco. Appreciate you having me. Like you said, it kind of just came from my haircut, right? So, I mean, yeah, I'm an online fitness coach, man. I've been coaching for, it's about to be a year in September. I think actually September 5th, I announced that I had just gone online. I had been coaching a little bit before that, but that was like my official social media presence, I guess you could say. But funny enough, like you said, I just came in for a haircut, and we guys started talking business, started talking strategy, and like I think we had some connections as far as like mentorship and stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, I grew up here in Los Banos. When you mentioned I've been in banking, I started working at Bank of America here like 14 years ago. Started at
You were still working in and where you said
no. So I ended up moving there. I was working here. I started here as a teller. It was just going to be a job. I didn't plan to. I was going to school. Yeah, I was going to school at the time. I didn't expect it to be like a long-term thing. But I moved to Morgan Hill, San Jose area in 2011. So about 8 years ago. And then I just came back to LB for the time being.
Cool. I mean, welcome back, dude. I mean, how has it been? Back in town. I'm sure it's been a lot with like cruising down memory lane, all that cool stuff. Visiting friends. Like, how has that been?
It's been good, man. So one, like I've been spending a lot more time with my mom, my sister, my nieces, my nephews.
Okay.
I have friends still here, so I've been connecting with them. The good thing about growing up in LB is, I'm sure you know, like you have the same friends. I've had the same friends since I was like 14, man. So, there's a lot of families here I'm close to, so that's been good. But like you said, I've been going to the gym, I've been going around, I'm running into people I haven't seen in years, people that I talk to here and there on social media, but it's been cool just kind of reconnecting and seeing what everybody's been up to, and just kind of, catching up and all that.
Fun fact, I'm not actually from Los Banos. I'm actually from Los Palos.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that about me. They're one thing that I'm from here. I actually consider this my home over Dos Palos. No offense to people from DP. It's just I just feel like there's more opportunity out here, and being so close, So my parents still live in DP, so it's close to home, so all that cool stuff, But yeah, man. So what essentially got you into fitness? Like, was it just because it was just a thing to do, or because I mean, in LB, there's not much to do, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'll start kind of back in the day, bro. Like, I grew up super skinny. Like, my whole life, I've been super skinny throughout childhood, high school, all that. And it was just my biggest insecurity. I always hated it. I felt really small compared to other people. It stopped me from like being athletic, playing sports, things like that. And I always wanted to just get bigger, I guess you could say, right? So I started working out when it was a little bit right after high school. I would say maybe I was like 18. I made the decision. It's funny. I started my workout journey doing P90X at home.
It's like I feel like it's just funny because a lot of my friends still do it to this day.
Really?
It's a good workout. I mean, right? Yeah, it's a good workout. But it just you said that and it brought back so much memories. But
not for me to catch you up.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was gonna say, so funny enough, like I did that because I was embarrassed. I was still super unconfident and I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want to sign up. But the good thing about it, doing it, working out at home, it actually taught me how to have good form. So it gave me the confidence to sign up for the gym. So I signed up finally for when we had In Shape here.
Oh, I miss In Shape, bro.
Yeah, it was a good gym, bro.
I miss In Shape. That's really the peak fitness of for me.
Yeah.
I remember when I started my fitness journey, I actually for the first week I went there and I had to work out for 8 hours, and probably the worst thing ever.
8 hours?
Yeah, it was an 8 hour workout. I don't fucking know. It was I was 18. I was on I actually did a cycle of roids too.
Okay.
So it's funny because I thought I was on roids. I thought I was, subjected to injury.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
You're a beast.
I fucked my shit up, bro.
Really?
I fucked up my lower back. I just overlifted, dude.
Lifted too heavy.
Yeah, my ego got the best of me, and
yeah, that'll get it, man.
But yeah, I do miss in shape. We have Planet Fitness now. I haven't gone. My I don't know. I haven't gone. My thing is the compound. I've been going there since it's opened. But yeah, man. So what made you originally take the job at Bank of America? Because you said it was temp, right? So like, was it just because you didn't want to?
Yeah, I mean, it was a job at a high school. I worked at Kmart in high school for like a couple years. They closed down, and then I was fucking sick and tired of it, man. And it just a little random sales job, and I was applying everywhere. Bank of America hired me. Said they hired me as a teller. I thought it was going to be something that was just going to be a short time. Ended up working there for 14 years. Made it up to like a couple, like basically corporate. My last role when I left was like I was a project manager for their business banking division. So,
well, I mean, working at a bank doesn't seem like a bad, especially in the beginning stage, because I'm sure you learned a lot about money and stuff. I mean, did you? I mean,
yeah, yes and no, right? I mean, you play with money, but a lot of people, you're not really using your brain on money, man. You're using the machine for everything. But it's really more like you learn like people skills. You learn
communicating people and stuff like that. So I'm sure that translated over to your coaching business now.
100%, bro. Yeah, because you learn how to build relationships, and then like no matter what job, because I went from teller to like a sales job, and then now in coaching, it's like, and even like in the project manager role, like you're connecting with people every day, right? So part of that is like you have to learn how to talk to people, you have to learn how to understand people, and even in banking, sometimes you're dealing with some very personal situations. So
and shoot, I mean, like it's money, so money can be very touchy. Not just for I mean, if anybody, anybody's looking, watching, it's a very touchy subject, so like, when did fitness come into the picture, like for you? Was it, you said it was in high school, right?
It was a little after high school, so I think maybe around the time when I started working there, I think I finally made the decision to go to the gym. Funny enough, actually, because one of the assistant managers that I worked at the Bank of America, her husband was like the sales manager at InShape, so that's why I went to go sign up for him. So I just remember that. But I started going there, and I actually went to the fitness place over here too. But I started working out, and it was just, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of like going on YouTube, finding out workouts, and my goal was just get bigger. Learned about dirty bulking, and it was just because I was skinny my whole life. I was like, oh, you got a fast metabolism, you could eat whatever you want, and somehow you're gonna get bigger. It never happened.
It's funny because I see that all the time, and I feel like you posted a story today too, where I see where like, oh, the people that say they work out, so they're subjected to just eating whatever they want. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
I learned the hard way, where it's calories in versus calories out, and I'm still learning. I mean, I'm definitely not the heaviest I've been. I think the heaviest I've been was like 320 pounds.
Okay.
Right now I don't look 270, but I am 270. The goal weight is 230.
That's like 50 pounds that you dropped though, man. So that's awesome, bro.
Yeah. That's the goal,
Yeah.
And I definitely learned the dirty bulking. It makes you feel like, I think now when I look at eating now, is how am I gonna feel after this meal?
For sure.
Is it worth eating these 8 tacos and feeling like shit after? Yeah, it's gonna be great in that sitting, but then after I'm just like, fuck,
you're sluggish, all that.
And then I'm older now too, so like I don't really I don't really metabolize all my food the same, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Like I feel like shit sticks with me for like a couple days.
Yeah.
Like if I eat for example, if I eat a lot of popcorn, I feel like the next few days I'm just like, fuck, dude. Oh, fucking A. So I definitely feel like when it comes to eating, I feel like just go off on how you feel. Is it worth feeling like shit for the whole day?
Yeah.
It's funny because I think of Thanksgiving. I don't know why. Every year at Thanksgiving, I'm like, this year I'm not gonna eat this much this year. Every single time, there's the pies, there's this, and I'm sure you see it all the time too, right? We know, especially now that you coach people, So, and like So like, going back to training, were you always training people, or did that just kind of start?
No, I mean, that started more recent, right? Just I'll fast forward a little bit, right? After I went through like let's say I was working out for like 10 years, bro. And reality is I was dirty bulking. I thought that nutrition didn't apply to me. And yeah, I gained a little bit of muscle. I got bigger than what I thought, but it was never what I wanted to look like. I got skinny fat. The skinny fat's the word, right? I didn't learn what that was until later, but it's like I was skinny. I had a little bit of muscle, but I didn't have a six pack. I just looked like I kind of worked out, but I really didn't. And that's what I looked like for like 10 years, bro. And I got kind of tired of it because I was like, well, dude, I'm putting in all this work. I know what I'm doing. I feel like at that point I had gotten pretty experienced with the gym, but it was like, bro, like I don't look like what I want to look, right? So when I got serious with it was, plus like I was drinking a lot, man. Like I had horrible nutrition. Like I was getting drunk every weekend. Like I just wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing to get fit, right? But about 3 years ago, I tried a couple of things like 75 hard just to try to get strict. Didn't really get results, but it taught me how to habit stack where like I was getting a little bit more discipline. And then I tried a group coaching program with like a group of people where the coach kind of gave us like a few things, but the same thing, I didn't really get results. And my old roommate, his name is Jared. He's from here too. Shout out to him. And his girlfriend Nieves, who was also from here, she competes, she bodybuilds. So she was always around and she was like, dude, why don't you get a coach? And then after a few conversations, I was like, dude, I'm going to do it. I was like, I feel like that's the next step.
So for you, that was like a no-brainer, like that you knew that was the next step. And a lot of people don't ever hit that. Oh, bro, believe it or not, a lot of people are stubborn, right? Yeah. You know, I feel like you see a lot of time too, now that you're coaching people are just stubborn. And I see it in my field too, like not just, it's not just in fitness, it's also in barbering too, where I definitely feel like I'll give, you know, my students a task and they don't do the task, or they'll do it for a little bit of time. And then they're like, oh, well, I'm not getting any results. I'm sure that's the same.
They expect, instead of like delayed gratification, they expect results right away.
Yeah, and I feel like if you don't learn how to delay the gratification, you're just not gonna it's not gonna work, dude. You know, like I'll tell barbers, like, look, you need to post your 3 stories daily. If you want to get clientele as a barber, you have to post your 3 stories daily. 3 haircuts. I don't care if they're old, new, from a year ago, but if they're good, post them. I promise you'll get some kind of traction, right? Is there like a similar thing in fitness where like how you can relate to like other fitness coaches that are like in the same boat that you're in?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I think it carries over because like working with clients, right? Like if you sign up for a coach, and I went through this myself, right? Because when I signed up, it's like you're kind of in a whole different world because all of a sudden you're learning new habits. You're doing things that you probably knew you were supposed to be doing to begin with. Like let's just use nutrition as an example, right? It's not just working out, but it's actually staying active throughout the day. It's counting calories. It's counting like your protein, your macros, and things like that. So if you're not used to that, it's like you're going to go from one world to the next, right? So it's super hard to adjust to that. So some people think you hire a coach, and maybe this is the same in like barber coaching as well. But like some people think, yeah, they take the leap and they hire a coach, but it's like, oh shit, I got to do a lot of work, you know? Like, yeah, it's like, it's not just going to happen, right?
And going back to when you said the whole 75 hard thing, like once you learn how to habit stack, things get somewhat easier, but you learn to like have that a part of you. Like it becomes you become that, right. You know. So I my thing is like, show me your habits, and I can tell you what type of person you are, and how hard it's gonna be to break those habits. You know what I mean? I feel like habits are everything. You know, I'm learning that now as an adult. You know, with 2 kids, and it's a lot, man. You know, so. Let's run that back when you said you got a coach. How quickly did you like apply?
So here's my thing, right? So when I got my coach, I was to the point, bro, like I was so sick of my own shit where I like, and I know this with clients as well. Like I think you finally get in shape, not when it physically happens, but there's a moment in your mind where you're like, dude, I'm so tired of not keeping promises to myself, saying that I'm going to do this, saying that I've been trying to get fit for over 10 years and it's gotten nowhere. And when I started looking for a coach, when my friend's girlfriend told me to look, I was like, all right, I'm going to find someone, but I'm going to make sure that it's someone I connect with. It's not someone random. So I actually like, when I made the decision, I already knew that I was all in, and all it was I was going to find the right coach. And, you know, I was looking through Instagram, I was looking through pages, and then I ended up catching like a Brad, you know who Brad Lee is? So he's out of Vegas. So, Brad Lee, he's like a business mentor. I'll send you his stuff, but anyways, he did a podcast with my current coach, and his snippet was like something that I kind of resonated with. So I listened to the podcast. I checked out his page, hit him up. And at that point, I was like, I already had an amount of money that I was willing to spend. So I went on the call. I went on the call and I was like, all right, if this guy answers my questions, if I feel like I connect with him, if I feel like he can help me, I'm going all in. I don't care how much it is, as long as it's in my price range. And then I went all in. And like at that point, like I said, I was so tired of my own shit that it's like, it was like a complete 180. I was like, whatever he told me to do, I was going to do it. Where I didn't care if it was hard, if it was difficult. I didn't care how much, like, as long as it was in the price point, it was good. But so I feel like for me, I had reached my point where I was just so done with myself that I was like, I'm going to go all in.
I love that, because that's the mindset you need going into anything. Like, when is it going to be time for you to get out of your own way? I feel like that's a lot of people's fucking problem, is you just get your way too many times to where you don't realize that this is what's fucking you up, is literally you. Literally you. And I feel like people have a hard time looking themselves in the mirror and actually like, I'm the fucking problem. I'm the fucking problem. Yeah, you know, I'm the fucking problem. And I had that very similar mindset when I joined my mentorship for barbering, for business and stuff like that. Very similar mindset. I was sick and tired of my shit. It was the middle of COVID, and I wasn't getting anywhere. I was charging $25 a haircut, $30 max, and I kept on seeing people online just winning, and I'm like, I want to be part of that. Like, and I know I can do it. I mean, and that's anybody, right? I'm sure you thought the same thing too. Like I you know, so
I guess one good thing there is was like, instead of like you thinking, why not me? You're like, I want to do that. How can I do that? And I feel like that's where like the shifts start happening, and you like start thinking a little bit differently.
Paradigm shift, bro. And a lot of people confuse a paradigm shift with a mindset shift. A paradigm shift is a whole new look on everything, you know. And I had to switch. There was a lot of barberish, that's what my mentor called it, barberish things that I had to drop, right? One of the barberish things was relying on walk-ins, blaming the shop, blaming location. That's all BS. Yep. Right? And I'm sure it relies on the same thing with the online fitness. It's all bullshit. You know what I mean? So he's like, once you figure out that that's all BS, that's when the real work starts. Oh my gosh. But once I realized that, dude, it was all game.
Yeah.
It's all game. And I'm sure you realize the same thing too. When you got on with your coach, you're like, dude, this is the shit. Like, how can I just spend more time in this, you know? So let me ask you this though, like, how did your like people around you started like seeing you or like reacting towards the new mindset and all that? Because that's a whole new person, if you ask me, you know?
Yeah, good question, bro. I think for me, like, it's funny when I joined. So actually my coach's name is Michael Sheedy. Shout out to him. He's been a good mentor for a lot of different things. But when I went all in, bro, I deleted my Instagram for like a month. I kind of shied away from people. I cut drinking, and I was just kind of like, I isolated myself because I knew that this was the next thing that I wanted to do, and I was going to go all in, right? So that lasted about a month. And then after that, like when I started building these habits, I was like, it's time to get out there. It's time to like, you know, not shy in. But it was a little bit hard at first because a lot of people were so used to Jason that was always drinking, that was always out doing that. Now it was like, I'm going to go to dinner with you guys, but I'm just kind of going to get some water. I'm going to chill around. So that was an adjustment. I think for like my close knit of friends, at first it was like just people talking shit, but then they were all very supportive.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I feel like once you start bettering yourself, you kind of start seeing the real people. Yep. That are actually your friends, the people that were there just for the moment or just to have a good time, you know? Because I used to, I like your thing was drinking, my thing was smoking weed. I used to smoke weed like a fucking train, bro. You know what I mean? Every day I had a break, I'd be out there smoking with my coworkers, right? So once that whole thing happened, bro, just like you, like a lot of people were just talking shit. Oh, who does Papa think he is? I got my first price raise. Oh, no one's gonna pay him that. Everyone in the shop started acting different.
Care for the most, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
you know, yeah. Like all of a sudden, my friends were like the ones that weren't really like. They started seeing me being at the shop less and making more, and that's when it really bothered them. And I'm like, I'm not trying to like say that I'm better than you. I can actually show you where I got this information. I can point you in the right direction. You just got to ask me. And most of them did. I'm sure it happened to you with you too, right? Where like, you know, like you want to help, but it sucks that most people don't want the help in a sense, right?
Yeah, I think for me it was like, at first, like everybody was like, what the fuck are you doing? But then it was like my close knit friends was always like, all right, bro, I get it. You're doing this for a reason. You know, I see the change in you. And like,
that's cool. I love that.
For me, like you said with the weed, bro, like I can 100% say now that I had a drinking problem. Like for me, it was always like, I could have never just have one drink. It was either one drink or I'm blacked out. And in my head, I was always cool. I was fine. And I couldn't control it, bro. So when I got into fitness, I didn't expect to cut it out for as long as I did, but I ended up cutting it out for like a good year and a half. Now I'll have like a beer or two when I want to, but now I don't even fucking crave it, bro. So,
I mean, like, I think my thing too is I want to be able to take care of myself to be able to do that. Right, because I feel like a lot of people stay in that, and then when they get older, that's when shit starts happening to them, and it's like, well, you can't have a beer no more because your liver's fucked up or some shit, right? You know, I want to be able to take care of myself, and that's according to fitness. Like, I want to be able to take care of myself where I can casually drink, and maybe every once in a while I'll get a buzz, if that. Nowadays, I don't even. It's rare that I catch a buzz nowadays because I have kids. It's really hard, you know. I have responsibilities. I have a shop. I have content. I have all this. Like my barbers will ask me, "What are you doing your day off?" I'm like, editing.
Yeah,
I gotta push the shit out, bro. But there's no excuses, bro. Like there's gaps in my schedule. I gotta fill those gaps. Like I'm not blaming anybody but myself. And there's a problem in my business. I'm going to find a solution.
Yeah,
you know, mark my words. And I feel like anybody should approach that with anything, right? Everything's a problem, you know. Everything has a solution. Whether you find it the next day or the next few weeks, the next 3 months. My thing is, the bigger the problem, the longer you'll take to find a solution, but the better the return.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense, you know.
Sure.
I got that from my mentor. He's like, if the bigger the problem, you solve it quickly, it's just gonna be a whatever thing, you know.
Yeah,
you know. But if you actually take your time and actually you know, try to fix whatever the fuck is wrong with you, fix your habits, and everything else just comes, you know. But I think that was one of the biggest things that I had to overcome was accepting that a lot of people weren't really my friends.
Yeah,
after all, you know, like I definitely seen the shift once I got into these mentorships, and it's just social media, bro. What, you trying to be an influencer now? Like, well, like, no, I'm actually trying to better my future. Like, I'm trying to sustain myself in the long run. Like, you know, like I'm not just trying to be here for the moment. I'm trying to leave something behind where Pac was the reason why, or if Pac can do it in a small town, why can't I?
100%, bro.
I feel like all these young barbers see that here in town. They're motivated by it, which is fucking awesome. Like, fuck, let's fucking collab. But most, for some real reason, I don't know what it is, most don't want to. Like, I've reached out, don't get me wrong, you know. But okay, so let's go back into the Bank of America. So what was that moment when you were like, okay, I can't do this forever? Like, I can't.
Well, I think I had already felt like that for years, bro. Like I said, I climbed the corporate ladder. I had a really good job. I went to school to be a project manager, and I got there, which was kind of unheard of, but in that role. But it was more recent. Like, you know, I had started coaching, I guess last year's kind of like a little side project. I was coaching my own clients, and then my coach pushed me and started mentoring me to go online, started getting a little bit more clients. And then I wasn't like at the point where I was super busy, but I could tell that I was just getting to the point where I was so frustrated with my job. Like, I was just getting annoyed over stupid things. Like, I love my job, bro. I love my boss, my team, what I was doing. I enjoyed it, but it was just like, I caught myself like, just wasn't happy. And then, it wasn't actually till like in June of this year, I went to like a business retreat with my coach and a couple other like business mentors they works with. And I'm going to be honest with you, bro, I had like a spiritual awakening. We did like, it was a lot of business stuff. That's like a bigger conversation in itself, but we did like a lot of breathwork stuff that, you know, it showed me a lot of things that, like I said, that's a big conversation. I know not a lot of people are open to that kind of stuff, but like a couple of things that became clear to me that was holding me back was my job. And also, you know, I was living in Morgan Hill, which is a pretty expensive area. My roommate had just moved out. So I came back from that trip and I was like, I got to quit my job. I got to move out of state.
So fucking cool. That is so fucking cool because a lot of people will just deal with it, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if you're watching this, you're unhappy with where you're at, you have the power to change that, man. Like, just putting that out there. You know, if we can do it, why can't you? You know, I'm just saying, you know, and we're not even done with what we're trying to do.
We're still at the beginning. We're just starting.
We just fucking started.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, Barber fam, I really hope you're enjoying this conversation as much as I am. But real quick, if you're a barber struggling to get new clientele online or struggling to shoot content, the whole thing just feels like guesswork to you. There's literally no need to guess anymore. I built my own Skool platform where I show you exactly how to shoot content, what angles work, and how to study other people's content. That way you're not doing the guesswork anymore. So if you're done struggling, feeling stuck, click the link in the description down below and let's grow together. Back to the conversation. Because I'm very big on mindset, dude. Like I said before, I'm very big on mindset. I'm very big on growth. I'm obsessed with it. Like I have it on my phone. Like there's literally every single year there's like my surroundings are different.
Yeah,
which is like a sign of growth, and I'm obsessed with it. So like, what does growth look like for you?
Growth for me, and I think I've learned this a lot more recently. It's just taking action, bro. Like it's like if you have an idea, if you have a dream, if you have something that you want to do, like you're talking about surroundings, right? Like your surroundings can hold you back so much. And one thing that you said, like when I first came to get a haircut, it's like how you're creating a space for people to see that things are possible here. I think growing up here, not to bash on anybody, but it's like I think like the mentality here is you kind of get stuck in one place or you get out, and I think it's been hard to shift that. And like the fact that you're building something for that is incredible, because you have a network of people like Miguel, for example, right? He's freaking launched the compound, a bunch of other businesses, but like to answer your question, to go back to it, I think it's take action, right? Because like, going back to like the whole job, I feel like the job was holding me back for a really long time. I just quit, and I'll be honest with you, bro, like from my last day of work, which is July 15th, like I feel like everything's been aligning for me, dude. Like I feel like
I love that, bro.
I feel like the coaching's been full force. It's funny because I quit my job. I took off to Europe because it's funny. So I want to move to Europe next year. That's like my biggest goal. But I was like, I got to take off. Like I ended up finding this random flight to Germany for like $300, super cheap. Met up with some friends that I have out there, came back and I was like, shit, I don't have a job. But the crazy part is like when I was over there, I was still pushing content. It was all like travel fitness stuff. I booked a few different calls for that week when I got back. So as soon as I got back, I was already busy with coaching. Came back, closed one client, which was actually, I had to raise my prices because I was going all in. I actually made more than my paycheck would have paid me.
That's wild, bro. That's a beautiful thing, dude.
So it's like, it's not about the money, bro, but it's more like, I feel like the moment I took action and started going all in, like now these things are just like, you're supposed to be doing this, things are falling into place. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly, because I feel like I am where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like there's no doubt in my mind. There's no, like my gut feels like a puzzle. Like everything just like connects, regardless of who's here, who's not, this is happening.
Yeah.
And how you just had, and I want to run that, I want to take that back when you said it's not about the money. It's not, it's actually knowing you're worthy because of that. Because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't know if I can charge like that much amount. I feel bad. I'm like, dude, you can't. Well, like, so what? You don't think you're like worth that?
Yeah,
you're worth more than that, actually. I think that growth comes when you start realizing I'm worth more than what I'm charging.
Yeah. And to go back to your question about mindset, bro, like that's been a journey for me, like in the last year, and that's where having mentorship and having coaches really has helped because. When I first started, I was coaching my friends and I was charging like $50 a month. And granted, they were just my friends. I was testing it. But like one of the bigger conversations I had when I finally told my coach that I was coaching and he wanted to help me go online was like, bro, like, do you really think that's what you're worth? Like, he's like, what the value that you provide, you're changing people's lives. You're doing this, you're helping. Like, you need to look back and realize what you're doing is completely transformational, not just from a physical perspective, but like a mental perspective. People are becoming different people.
Yeah. So one of my mentors told me, he was like, you have to think of it as you're getting the shorter end of the stick. Yeah. What they're going to get is 10, 100 times more than what you're getting. And that's what your coach is talking about, right? Like you're worth more than that because at the end of the day, like they're going to be transformed to the new person that they want to become. And a lot of people can't fathom that person because they don't know who that is. Yeah. Right. It's a really beautiful thing when you actually look yourself in the mirror and like, okay, I don't know who I was back like I don't know who I was then, but like now looking at myself now, I'm actually finally becoming that. I feel like that's where you're going to, right?
Dude, 100%, bro. Like I feel like this kind of stuff. Like if I look back like if you ask me like, did you know you want to be a fitness coach? No, bro. Like this was never in my mind. Like it really kind of started with me taking the leap on my fitness journey. You know, I started sharing my journey online over a couple years, and then thanks, man, appreciate it, and congrats to you too, bro. So I always had like some people like just hitting me up for advice, and I never really like took anybody seriously. And it was like one of my old coworkers, shout out to him, Francisco, and his girlfriend Sasha. They were my first 2 clients. They're still my clients, but you know, they were like, dude, I want you to train us. And they kept asking me, and it's funny because my boy, he's super successful. He goes to Harvard. We used to work together. And he was very successful at the job. He's on businesses. So I was like, you know what? This guy's serious. And if I take him on, I know he's going to try. And same thing with his girlfriend. Right. And sure enough, they started getting results, and like, I started with them. And then over time, like it just kind of started growing little by little. And then I realized that I liked it. I went from 2 clients to 5 clients somehow. And then once my coach came on board, it's funny because when I with the imposter syndrome, like I was hesitant to tell him that I was coaching because I thought he was going to feel some type of way, and I was still working with him as like a fitness coach. And then what's funny enough is there was one day when I like decided that I was going to finally tell him, and that morning he actually hits me up and he's like, hey bro, have you ever thought about coaching?
That's so cool, bro. Well,
yeah. So, and that's where that kind of started. I started going online. Little did I know that he was also mentoring other coaches to go online. So I joined him in that perspective. But, you know, it's been a year of like growing with clients, and like, I realized like, bro, like I actually love this, you know, like I grew a passion for fitness because I finally got the results that I was looking for. But it was more like now seeing it, like me teaching it to other people, like seeing how people change their mindsets, like their mood, like getting text from like, oh my God, I've never done this, I've never done that, bro. It's like, yeah, bro. And I'm sure you get it like from barbering because you hear people's whole entire life stories, right? And you're there for like the highlights, like all that.
So that,
so the chair is a holy thing. Like I thank God for the chair because there's a lot of things that people don't talk about, right? So when I finally get people to open up about their struggles or XYZ, or people that just finally say something that's bothering them, and the next thing they come in like, bro, like that was so hard for me to like talk about, but I feel so much better now.
Yep.
Like I had never told anybody this, but you're the only I mean, bro, all the stuff that you tell me, I'm taking that to my grave.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So I can definitely attest to that. And one other thing too that I want to get into is like my students, right? Like shout out my students, you know. When I tell them to do something, whether it be social media or something like that, and they get results from it, it's a great thing. It's a great feeling, you know, because then you start like attaching yourself to that person that you know you are,
yeah,
you know. And if I'm being honest with you, bro, I did have a huge issue with imposter syndrome for a long time, especially when I opened up this place. This place is such a blessing because I'm learning so much about leadership that I did not know. Like I thought I was just gonna come in and just collect rent and just chill. Nope, hell no. God said, nah, you ain't. You
got something bigger.
Yeah.
You felt it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I felt it. So in the beginning, I told you this already. In the beginning, I had a huge mix-up with certain people, and it took a very, very uncomfortable situation for me to understand that you really have to separate business and friends, bro. Like you really, really have to separate it because if you do not, it is an ugly, ugly monster, bro. You have to like destroy it. There's no that cannot live in the business at all.
Yeah.
You know. So for a while. So when that happened, I lost 3 barbers all at once. In my head, I'm like, fuck, like I'm a failure. How can I call myself a shop owner? But then I started realizing I first of all, it's only been a month that I've been a shop owner. I don't know, you know, I don't know. I'm still learning leadership, and I'm still learning how to address certain. Like I've learned that when something happens, you have to address it right then and there with that barber. If you, and I guess that's with everything, anything.
It's part of the learning process too, though, right? So
you know, I'm sure you've been in situations too where something has happened and you're like, fuck, I gotta address this shit with a friend or a colleague or a student or whatever, or a client, right? You know, I definitely feel like I got hit with the right I got hit with the right hook, bro. It definitely taught me a lot that I have to address things right then and there. I can't let things linger, and I need to set boundaries immediately. Like as soon as that next barber comes in, this is what I expect of you. Because if and if they're not clear enough, something is gonna happen. It's so weird how something simple like that can actually derail you from what you're trying to become. It's so weird, you know. Like what is one thing in fitness you feel like can be similar to that?
Well, here's what I'll relate to that, right? Because when I first started coaching, like, granted, like I told you, like when I went all in with my coach, like I was probably like an A+ client, right? What we would all want, right? I was doing everything he told me, had no question, like I would never push back, nothing, whatever, right? And I think when I started coaching, I went with that expectation that I was going to get that from clients. So when you're coaching people, you have to understand, like, and we were talking about this with leadership earlier, right? Like you have to understand that people have different personalities. They may not be fully invested into that goal as much as you were, and they're in different places in their lives, right? So when I first started working with clients, like I would take offense to them not, you know, showing up, not checking in, not doing their habits, not doing this. And I was taking it personal, like if they were doing it to me, right? Or if it was like, oh, I'm a shitty coach, or like, damn, they're going to fail because it was me. And one thing that I learned again with mentorship, one of the things that my coach taught me, it's like, you know, you're going to get good clients like you were, you're going to get clients that aren't in the space yet, but you also, it's one of those things where you can't like, you know, what's that saying? Or like, you can bring a horse to the water, but it's up to them to drink, right? So,
especially here with barbers, I recently posted a mastermind here for not just the shop, but
for people to come by, and like I want to say about 10 people showed up on top of the shop, so it was a pretty good sized group, you know. And I was literally revealing all the stuff that I do with content and what they can do for clientele reach, how to boost, you know, your numbers organically, TikTok and Instagram, just all this, like how to film content. And after I got done, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the group that, like, at least 3 of them, they have to like take action. None of them took action, though. To this day, I have not seen one of them take action. And I'm like Ty, we're talking about how we were saying earlier, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it.
right.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that I compared to what you were saying earlier too about boundaries, right? Like now it's like, at first, like, I think when I started coaching, I was like, you know, I just wanted to be the nicest coach, the best coach. Like, hey, I'm here to help you. Here, I'm here to give you results, which was true. But also, like, now it's like when clients on board, it's like, I got boundaries. It's like, hey, I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you the tools. I'm here to keep you accountable. I'm here to push you. But at the same time, I'm not here to babysit you, right? Like, you need to know that this is work that you need to put in. Like, that you're at a point in your life where, you know, say you're not happy or something needs to change. But it's like, what I've learned with fitness too and coaching others is like, there has to be a deeper reason why this person, let's say, wants to lose weight. It's not just, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds. Like there's something behind that, right? Like it's something like, hey, you know, I can't run upstairs with my kids. I can't play with my kids, or like I get flustered or I get out of breath taking a hike. I'm not happy. Like there's something bigger, right? And they have to know that, and that's what pushes them farther, right? But also, like, now when you come in, and we talked about leadership, right? It's like you have to step as a leader and like set boundaries from the beginning. So that's what I've learned over time. And of course it comes with reps. It's just like fitness. Everything's with reps, right?
I think what's good, especially with volunteer and students, is setting those boundaries. I thought I was going to be mean, a jerk, or
Yep.
but
This book called Herding Tigers, and people are naturally creative, whether it be fitness, whatever it is. But if you want them to do great work, you have to give them clear expectations. What do you expect from them? And it's not like, I want you to make 100K by the end of the week. Nothing crazy like that, but as simple as showing up every day, posting on your story.
Like you said, you got to do 3 stories a day, something like that.
Yeah.
You give them a clear guideline.
Yeah, you know, and I'm sure you have your action steps for your students too. And it sucks when you're giving them, you know, the tools, but they don't take it, I guess, right? You know,
but one thing that I guess you probably learned this too, it's like before I was kind of just like, you'd give the guidelines and I was also like telling them word by word what they have to do. But it's also like you turn into like a kind of like a psychologist, I guess. Like you have to have them see the value of why it benefits them, because in that way they see how it's going to help them get to their goal. They work harder to do it. So it's not just boundaries, but it's more of like, helping them understand like why you should do this and why it benefits you. And I think like as naturally going in as like a coach or maybe like a leader in your perspective, you're just like, you see the vision and you may see the best in them, but they don't see that yet. Right. So it's about helping them guide them to that so they can see it themselves and they put in the work.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I've learned too is things work better when you're trying to lead them away from pain opposed to lead them to pleasure. Because you tell them like,
oh, I'm going to lead you to make a 10K this month. I'm going to show you how to make 20K this month. That's a pleasure. That's great, right? But they're going to be like, what the fuck? Like, nah, you know, that's whatever, right? You know. But if you tell them like, hey, if you don't do this, you're not going to have a job. If you don't do this, you're gonna not get new clients. You're not gonna get a price raise. You are gonna get a lot of work, but if you do all the work, I can promise you that you will make a lot of money. So the psychology thing you were talking about earlier, you have to reframe that and make it painful, but then pick them up as soon as they start like, oh fuck, you know.
What kind of goes back to like what I said about like, you know, when this is another thing that we could bring up, but I think what I've learned too is like, you know, I'm not everybody's coach. I'm here to help the people that I'm meant to help. But I think when I'm meeting people, it's like, I want to find out the real reason why this fitness transformation is important to you. Because like I said, like anybody can come in, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds, like I said, right? But I want to work with people that really know why. And maybe they haven't uncovered it, but me as a coach, when I come in, and this comes from like sales and building relationships, skills I learned in banking, like you got to dig deep, right? So it's like, why is this important to you? And they not, but like when they have that moment of like, dude, I haven't been happy in 10 years. 10 years ago, I was my fittest. I could do this, I could do that. And I'm not that person anymore. I know what I'm capable of being. And when you unlock that, when you help them see that themselves, it's like, bro, it's like you see the explosion in their head.
So cool. It's like the what is it? The Big Bang Theory happening in front of you.
Yeah.
Like creation is just happening in front of you. Like, yeah, I know. I know what you mean. Like everything goes back to your why. Yep. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to make a lot of money? Why do you want to lose weight? Why? It could be as simple as, well, because I don't want to be on medication when I'm 60. Yep. It could be as simple as that. Or it could be as like emotional, well, because I want to provide the best for my family. Yeah. And provide things that I never had before. You know, I definitely feel like if your why is strong enough, it will make you cry.
Yep.
Like when my mentor told me that, I was like, oh shit, like it does make me want to cry. And my why, it makes me like emotional because I know this is gonna work. Yeah.
It's one of those things where when you see it in your head and you know why, it's like, I'm gonna fucking make this happen regardless of whatever it takes. Like it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, maybe 10 years from now. But all I know is that because of this reason, whatever that why is, like in your case, it may be your family, right? Or like, you know, this, everything all together, right? But it's like, there's something that clicks where you're just like, I'm fucking gonna do that.
I'm doing shit, and I'm gonna go down swinging.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall and I'm gonna get right the fuck back up, man.
In my head, whenever I'm faced with adversity, I think of a boxing match. I think of myself. I'm in that ring, getting hit over and over again. I'm on the ropes, hugging the ropes, but I'm still fighting. I'm still there going. I don't care how long it's gonna take me, as long as I get to the goal that I'm gonna get to. So your goal has to be, as leading me to my next thing, is your goals has to be as crystal clear. What do you want? A lot of people don't know what they want. Yeah. They just say, I want a lot of money. Okay, how much money do you want? What does that actually look like? I want to make 20K. Why though? Yeah. These small little things make a huge.
They're not small when you break them down. Like they seem small because you're going kind of granular, but it's like, let's say off that question, right? You're talking to someone that's like, I want to make 20,000. It's like, dude, I may be, you know, my mortgage is 5,000 and I have this, like my wife's not working. Like there's so much that goes into that why that they haven't seen it themselves. Right. And like, when they pinpoint it, it becomes so much of more of an achievable goal because there's you can break it down in steps from there.
Oh yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. I definitely love the whole like the mindset you're going off of because it's very similar to mine. Yeah.
I think that's what we're working during the haircut. Right?
Yeah. Like I was like, I have to have this dude on my podcast, you know, especially since you're moving out of state. I'm like, when am I gonna get another chance, you know? You know, so now or never. It was my thing. So So in the beginning, I did say that you were moving out of state. I didn't say where. So I'm gonna let you say where you're. So where are you moving to, man?
So I'm moving to Vegas next month, September 26th, and it's kind of funny because, like I told you, when I got back I was in Texas. I had that spiritual awakening. I knew I had to move out of state. I didn't know where yet, but I came back in like a mindset where I was like, everything's going to work out for me. I just got to take action where I need to, right? So I had narrowed it down to 3 different places, and it was Houston. I had spent some time there, and it was Arizona, and then it was Vegas. And then all of these places either had like some kind of business, like businesses can thrive. And then I also have some kind of person there, like friends, family, whatever it is, right? And funny enough, like I was avoiding Vegas because I was like, if I go to Vegas, I'm gonna spend hella money. Like, I don't know. But it's funny though, because I told you I don't really like, I mean, I go to raves and shit, bro. So I'm a big music guy, but
I can tell by tattoos. Yeah.
album cover stuff. But I was avoiding Vegas because I swore I was going to spend money, right? But I was leaning on Arizona. But funny enough, like my coach is in Vegas. A lot of the other coaches that he mentors, who I talk to all the time, are in Vegas. Some of my clients are in Vegas, and obviously, you know, Josh is one of my best friends from here since I was a kid. He's now in Vegas, and he's been telling me. So I was still kind of eyeing different places, and I knew that I was going to move September timeframe. But I actually got invited to a fitness pool party in Vegas by my coach and his people. So I had hit up Josh. I was like, hey, is it cool if I stay with you guys? And he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, but I'm going to give you a heads up. My goal is to convince you to move here. So I went and I was, you know what, dude?
Shout out Josh.
I was like, shout out Josh. I was like, I'm going to go with an open mind. I was like, all right, cool. So he's like, I'm going to show you houses. Like, I'm not planning on buying or anything right away. But what really made the decision is like, we went and we house hunted. We looked at single families. We looked at townhomes. We looked at like big houses. And it's like, you know, living in California that it's cheaper over there, but actually seeing like what's capable and what you can get for the price points. Like, bro, I was living in Morgan Hill and I was paying almost $3,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment. We checked out this townhouse. I was like, 2 stories, 3-bedroom, and like a mortgage would have been half of what I paid, right? Yeah. Like, so I was convinced on that end. I was like, bro, like just being there, it was kind of like I was actually embodying living in Vegas. I was like, all right, cool.
On that, you were like, okay, I kind of actually see myself here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you also had, so you narrowed it down because you're like, well, Josh is here. I know him. Your coach is here, so that's another to be close to your coach, dude. That's a opportunity in itself.
Yeah, and to add to that, right? So like, you know, I met some of the other coaches that I was already talking to and stuff, and not one person was like, bro, you shouldn't move here. Everybody was like, bro, like the good thing about Vegas is like, and you heard this in Josh's podcast, is like, it's a huge networking hub. No matter what, there's something going on. Like there's, you know, you already know a bunch of people here because you've networked already, right? Through fitness, right? But there's always something where you can meet new people. And then they're like, and the good part is like money thrives out here, right? Like you can make money and it'll actually last you. Like compared to the Bay Area, you could be making $1 million a year and you're fucking on survival mode. So it's like, I already knew that was like what made Josh jump. So I was already in that same perspective. So when I came back from that trip, I was like, bro, it's a no-brainer. Like this is what's next. So
I played a joke on my girlfriend. I was like, should we go to Vegas? She goes, well, why Vegas? Because my mentor, he has a podcast called The Video Department. Shout out Omar, by the way. He was the reason why I started the podcast. He told me, he's like, why don't you start a podcast, bro? Like you have a voice. You're pretty cool. Like, why wouldn't you want to talk to people? Like that's how you sell. So why not? I was like, I was on this podcast was never supposed to happen, bro, by the way. But he was the reason why. He was like, dude, if you can be on camera and have a conversation, you can't fake being yourself for an hour or 2. Like there's just no way. People will catch on to like there's
energy will read it, bro.
Yeah, there's no fucking way, you know, there's just no fucking way. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm starting a podcast. I went on, bought mics and all this shit. But aside from the point, my girlfriend's like, well, what about the shop? And I'm like, well, the goal is to have it sustain itself to where I can have it manage itself, and I'll come back and check on it, you know. Like that is a goal, to move to Vegas. I would love to move to Vegas because my mentor's out there, and I would love to be closer to him. So you might see me out there, bro, in the next.
Well, maybe I'm here to fucking tell you that that's your sign because I'm doing it. So.
You know what I mean? And my girlfriend said, well, why Vegas? So Vegas is like,
here's one thing that'll get your girlfriend. I'll tell you, like, because one of the things that everybody told me as well, because when I was leaning on Arizona, like some of the coaches out there, they're like, the good thing about Vegas, bro, because this is a small town. You're probably close to your family. You probably got a lot of people here.
Close to my family.
So the thing about Vegas, bro, like, no matter what, people will come visit you, like friends, family, because it's so like, it's Vegas, right? Like, and I never thought of it that way, but it's like the chances of, let's say you move to fucking New Mexico, right? Nobody's going to fucking visit you, right? Unless you hound somebody to come, right? But Vegas, like,
Albuquerque, fuck.
It's easier to be like, hey, why don't you guys come to Vegas? I'll take care of you. Like, you know, I'll host you guys, and hell yeah, everyone's gonna be excited, bro. That was another deal.
That was for sure the long term. Yeah, she's gonna see this. Me and her watched the pre-podcast before it airs, so she'll see this. So she'll be like, "Whoa, you guys talked about that?" Like, yeah.
So go to Vegas.
Yeah, I know, right? Vegas, babe. But no, yeah. It's been on my mind, and I've had a look at the markets over there, but like housing and stuff like that, and I have seen some cool shit out there when it comes to. It was either there or Texas. Texas was nice too.
Yep.
But I just feel like I think one of the biggest things that be very hard for both of us is that we're really close to her family.
Yeah.
Like we're like glue, bro. You know?
Yeah,
So,
of course.
you know, if we were to leave, I'm probably gonna take her parents with me.
Dude, and I think what I'm seeing too, because I'm kind of on the same hype. I'm here and I'm staying with my mom, my sister, my niece, and my nieces and nephews are all over here. I'm already like, all right, guys, I'm gonna move first. You guys can come visit me. And then they're already like, nah, but then they'll ask me questions like, hey, well, what do you think about this? So it's like, you get the brain.
So you are in,
yeah. So and then if you have the opportunity to, bro, like by all means, you know.
Yeah. So and it's not even. I told my lady, I'm like, it's not even Vegas. So even Reno's great too. We love Reno. We go out there at least twice a year, just to go because our friends of the family, we're really close to them too, and they're always inviting us to Reno. And the first time I went, bro, I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Reno is like a little Vegas. That's like super like calm.
Yeah.
Calmer. And Vegas is just nuts, bro.
Yeah, and
I'm talking about Fremont.
Yeah,
Fremont's nuts, bro. but yeah, Nevada is definitely in the works in the long term. Hey, Barber fam, I really hope you're enjoying this conversation as much as I am. But real quick, if you're a barber struggling to get new clientele online or struggling to shoot content, the whole thing just feels like guesswork to you. There's literally no need to guess anymore. I built my own Skool platform where I show you exactly how to shoot content, what angles work, and how to study other people's content. That way you're not doing the guesswork anymore. So if you're done struggling, feeling stuck, click the link in the description down below and let's grow together. Back to the conversation. Vegas, huh? We're talking about Vegas and yeah, like my mentors out there. I really loved what really drew me to Omar was his faith and how he talks and stuff like that. Like he has this thing called the 5 F's in business. It's fashion, fitness, food, and faith. There's one more. Fashion, food, fitness, faith, and there was one more. But people will buy something from you based on those 5 F's. Okay. Like literally, someone booked a haircut with me because they seen that I had a Detroit lion hat. And I don't even go for the fucking lions, bro. I just love the logo. The guy was like, "Yeah, I seen one of your podcasts, but you're wearing a Detroit lion hat." And I'm a Detroit Lion fan. I'm like, I'm be real with you, bro. I just love the logo.
That was probably more like he was already watching your stuff, and then that was where he was like, all right, this is the guy, you know?
Yeah,
like, so that's cool.
Yeah, so Matt, that's a selling tip that he told me. He goes, you really want to show you. Like, what do you like, bro? I was like, well, I like anime. Well, show more anime.
Yeah.
You show that you love that, because a lot of people, why wouldn't anybody want to come to you that doesn't like, there's a lot of people that love that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what really drew me to him. And he's not really like cocky or not, you know, he's very like, very humble. You know, I'm not a big on flashy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure if you can relate to that. Like, I'm a mix between introvert and extrovert.
Completely agree, bro. Completely agree.
I read the room, depending on the room.
Yeah.
That's my mood. That's how I'm going to be. If that makes sense.
I'm more like, I feel like I'm naturally extroverted, but I can be introverted. Like, and I've always said I'm an introverted extrovert, I guess you could say, but I'm the same way. I feel like naturally, like I like being outgoing. I like talking to people, but there is situations where I'm just going to shy in. So completely get it, bro. Yeah.
No. So what excites you the most about like the fresh new place? Like what is the first thing you think of like when you move to Vegas?
Everything, bro. Like I said, man, like coming back from Texas, like after that whole spiritual awakening, like I feel like I've been on like a very impulsive hype, right? Impulsive, but take action type stuff, right? Where I'm like, I'm going to do some crazy shit, but it's going to work out, right? And I told you, I took that random trip to Europe. I took off to Vegas. Like all these things have been just working out, right? And it's funny because like you would think that I have a whole plan going to Vegas. I really don't. So I actually just booked an Airbnb for a month and a half just so I could take the jump. I got rid of all my shit in my apartment. So yeah. And then once I get over there, I'm going to start looking for a place. But more than anything, it's like, I feel like everything's pointing me over there, like network wise, job wise, people wise. Like I have people over there. I feel like personally, like I told you, I used to drink a lot. Like if I would have been me 5 years ago, there's fucking no way I could make this move. Now I'm going for like business and stuff, you know? So I think what excites me the most is just like, it's something new. I'm going to give it a shot. My real goal is actually, I want to take off to Europe next year.
a year from now, or
And, like sometime next year, I want to do like 36 months. So Vegas is a launch pad. You know, I want the goal is for the business to really start taking off. And then once I'm,
then from there you can just lock in Europe. That's so
Yeah.
cool. You can literally like work over
Yeah.
remote. Love that.
so
And then that's my thing too, is like I could, if once my coaching business takes off and my students, I can literally work from over there and then nurture this place
Yeah.
from over there. I can fund somebody or find somebody that will run the place.
Yep.
You know, and the brand will stay alive, you know?
Exactly.
You know, because I definitely feel like the next wave for the barber industry is we're going to start seeing these big complexes with suites, right? And this is the beginning. This is why I call the concept, because this is the concept of that, and I want Los Banos to be the hub for that. So I'm always going to have this place, but I also want a big warehouse, kind of like TC, the compound, where you're going to have a 2 stories, the big enough suites for max 2 barbers, and then obviously a personal suite, and then I'm also going to have a walk-in area for barbers that don't want that, but they want to be part of the culture, you know, which is the vision I feel for concept, you know. And that's my next step. And then once I have all that in line, dude, I'm out to Vegas. I'm out. You know,
sounds like you're convinced for Vegas, bro.
Well, because I'm telling you, like my mentors out there.
Yeah, it just makes sense, right?
It makes sense. I mean, who knows? Maybe my mind will change. And I'm sure my girlfriend's gonna see this and she's gonna be like, "We got to talk about that first." But you know, she's down. But like whatever I present to her, we talk about it. She's very open-minded, just like I am. So I have, there's no doubt in my mind that she will consider it. You know. So what's been the hardest like part of preparing for this move, aside from like selling all your shit?
To be honest, bro, I feel like in the mindset that I've been, it really hasn't been that hard.
No.
Like I just know that it's my next step and I'm going to take the jump. I think before maybe I probably would have hesitated a lot more.
Right.
I would have been thinking of like every reason why I shouldn't do it. And granted, I have those thoughts, but like,
well, who doesn't?
Right.
Do it anyways.
Yeah. But it's like, even like going all in on coaching, right? I quit my job to go all in on this. And it's like, if I don't do this shit now, when am I going to do it? Right.
When am I going to do it?
Yeah. Like these are those things that I'm going to look back and be like, because I didn't do it, I'm going to regret it. And like to go back to like, you know, what you're trying to create here in Los Banos, I feel like, again, not to bash on anybody because this is home, but like, I feel like the fact that you're doing that, like sometimes that's what this town lacks, is like to hold on to those dream factors where it's like, bro, like we're not just this little town, you know, we're not just this little town, dude.
The Bay Area is coming over here and the things are going up, but you got to adapt. You know, people that are native here are complaining about it. Believe it or not, I'm getting a bunch of pushback because of that, because of the price point or how much I charge for a haircut. I hear it all the time, bro. It's just a haircut. But my thing is like, okay, if it's just a haircut, then go get fucked up somewhere and then let me know how you feel.
And here's like my perspective on that. And also because of like where I compare, you know, like I booked with you, but I booked through your content, right? But I seen what you were doing. I seen the experience that you gave. And same thing, I came and got a haircut. I told you, I was like, bro, I just wanted fucking something new. Let's do it. But I ended up getting a full strategy, like business session out of it. We had a good conversation. This came out of it. And it's like, bro, like that, you know, you shared it willingly just to our conversation, but that's stuff that you could charge for, bro. Like, yeah, exactly. I paid for $100 haircut, but you know what, bro? Like, I got so much more out of that, right? Like, and I think that experience comes with also like taking action and putting yourself out there, right? Because when you start doing things that you see the value and like whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you start seeing that in other people as well, right? Dude. So I'm here to fucking help with your business, and just like you are with
likewise, bro. Likewise, like my thing is like we got to prepare the next wave, bro. Like we're not gonna be this young forever, bro. You know what I mean? So my thing is like, who can I pass the torch down? Like not even that. Like I feel like people have this thing where, you know, where they feel like it's so cliche. Tomorrow's not promised. Yeah, it's a given. Right. My thing is, I don't want to be remembered as a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be remembered as like, oh, well, Pac had all this information. What was the use of it now? He's not here no more. He done, knock on wood. But, you know, my thing is like, how can I serve?
Yeah.
My thing is serve first and the universe will take care of it later.
Dude, and that's an abundant mindset, right? And that's something that I've actually been a lot more experienced with lately, right? Like I've been, not just with my mentor, but a lot of the mentors that I got connected with through him, and more of like, now that I've taken the leap, I feel like my mind has shifted in such a way where like I'm seeing entrepreneurship in a different way. And I feel like some people have this mentality about people that are millionaires, right? Where it's like, oh, fuck that. They're this or that. But it's like,
bro, I know what you mean.
These people had to work for that, right? But what I've learned interacting with more entrepreneurs, clients, business owners, it's like all these people are willing to support others, right? They're not looking for cheap things. They're not looking for free things. Like if they find an opportunity, whether it's tipping the most you can for a waitress to the point of us like, hey, I just met somebody that's fucking scaling a business. You can give me value, bro. Let me invest in you, right? So what I've learned is these entrepreneurs are the same thing as you, right? Like whether you're providing value for the service that you're giving, or if there's a way that you can give abundance to someone else, it comes back to you 20 times more,
bro. I know exactly what you're talking about, because the amount of value that I give and the amount of value I get back is like, it just makes me want to give more.
Yeah.
I want to give more. I want to be able to give without a limit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's my calling, because I've always been a natural person to give. Like I've always been like, oh, well, this person has this way because I know what it's like to have nothing. Here, bro. Yeah. Let me help you out with something,
And same thing, it's like, bro, like let's say you're a high ticket barber, right? Like I know you're a high ticket barber. I'm a high ticket fitness coach. Like how could I expect me to charge a lot if I'm going to come to you and be like, hey, you know what, bro, you need to charge me $20 because that's even your value and I'm here to support it, right? So I can't have that perspective if I'm also providing something.
And to flip that on its head too is whenever I go get haircuts from other barbers, I pay my price. So whenever I go see my boy out in Fireball where I used to work, I give him $100.
Yep.
He's like, what? Here, bro. If my clients are paying me this, I better be willing to pay this to somebody else.
Exactly, bro.
Because it just reciprocates,
It's also, it comes back, and this is something that I've learned more recently. Like there's an energetic exchange, right? Like when it comes to like fitness coaching, like when someone invests in themselves, they're more than likely to try harder, because like if I just give you a cheap program, you're not going to feel value in it,
100%.
You have to have like some kind of attachment to it.
It's some kind of energy to it. So my Omar told me this. People will value what they pay for. I can give you a supercar, a Lamborghini, right? I can give it to you for free. You can drive it around, post it on the gram, flex on the gram, But when it comes down to keeping it clean, when it comes down to washing it, when it comes down to maintaining it, you're not going to value it. But if you paid for it, you're only going to drive that thing maybe once a week.
And I'll give you one up on that, where it comes back to as well. You also see the habits of that person, right? Where like your habits show exactly who you are, right? Where someone who sees the value is going to take care of it, because more than likely they take care of themselves. They take care of their families, that kind of stuff, right? So it all correlates in one way or another, bro. So completely get what you're saying.
And it can be as simple as like keeping your car clean. You know, like I think that's one of the things that I struggle with the longest, because it's easy just to drink something and just leave it there. It's simple as that. As simple as literally putting when you're going shopping, putting the cart back where it goes.
Yep.
As simple as that.
Dude, Miguel literally has the cart there. Set up at the compound. I just saw it today.
I was literally thinking that, and that's literally the ultimate limitless test.
Yep.
Of someone's character.
Yep.
Are they willingly to do the right thing? And it comes to integrity, dignity. It comes to all that.
Yep.
But back to how we're talking about value and how people pay for value, like. I've recently did this free haircut drive for the community. I did 12 and under. I don't know if I told you this during the haircut, but I did a 12 and under free haircut for the kids. 12 and under free. Literally a free haircut, bro. Free haircut. I thought, this is my thing, my way of thinking. If I can get people's names and email, it's a win-win. I get leads, one. And they get to go do their whatever they got to do, and they come back once they get a text. I got the leads, but the other one didn't really work.
Yeah.
So people were complaining. They were like, "Oh, the wait's too long."
So they were complaining for a free haircut.
Yeah.
So they came with expectations, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They were complaining because of the free haircut, and I'm like, okay. And then what was funny is the next day, the people that couldn't make it made an appointment, and they were glad to pay whatever the price was. And I'm like, okay, so people they can pay.
Yeah. They
just would rather try to get the best deal. And I feel like it attracts a certain type of demographic too.
It's more than anything. It's like they came, they saw free, and that's it. They didn't and it was free their way, free however. But it's like in your case, you're seeing it. It's like I'm giving back to the community, I'm helping, and you did right. But I get what you're saying. Like it tends to attract people with expectations.
I don't mean to bash anybody, but it attracts a certain type of clientele that's kind of problematic.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people ask me, "Oh, you charge $100 for a haircut? I'm sure your clients are picky." I'm like, actually, no. People know what they're getting.
They're the easiest to work with, right?
Yeah, people know what they're getting. It goes as simple as going to shop at Gucci. You know what you're getting. You're not going to complain about the price because you know it's Gucci.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting. But no, you know what you're getting.
And I think one thing that I've learned too, like jumping more into business, like I said, I started with clients charging this much and getting to a point, but it's like, it also comes with like, as you learn your own value, right? Like at first you think you want to help everybody. Like you think like, I'm going to charge as least as possible because I want to help everybody.
That was literally, so I made one of the biggest mistakes ever. And it was in my coaching business. So I charge $5,000 for 6 months.
Okay.
Of coaching one-on-one. And I made a mistake of cutting that in half for somebody, and it ended up biting me in the ass because that person came with all this like baggage that I didn't. Look, man, I'm sorry this is happening to you, but it always turned to like a sob story, man. And I'm not trying to sound like condescending or anything.
No,
but it's like I want to know. I want to know what you're doing to get out of this. Are you doing your script sequence that we talked about? Are you doing your stories daily? Are you recording daily? No, I'm not, because today I felt like this. I went to the hospital today. Here's a video if you don't believe me. Like, I'm not calling you a liar, bro. Like, I'm sure that's happening. But and then it got to a point where like I started getting busy with other people, and I didn't mean to like not respond, but it got really toxic, bro. Like I was like, I didn't sign up for this. I was like, you know what? We can cut it off right here, bro. Because it ended up to the point where like he tried to sue me, and I'm like, bro, like you read the contract. Like this was a both.
Yeah.
Like what's going on here? So I made the mistake of undervaluing myself, and that's what ended up happening. I almost got sued for trying to help. Like,
yeah,
I went against my own policies trying to,
you mentioned also like it turned into something that was at later point draining what you were doing already. And that was probably taking away from clients that, were providing. And again, I'll compare the story from that, because one of the things that my mentor taught me was like, I've had clients that maybe aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like I said, I was taking it personal. Right. And you kind of get to a point where you're maybe giving that person so much attention, and then you have these other clients that are giving it 100,000%, and they're not getting the support that they need, right? Because you're so like, that's where you learn to kind of unattach from like, you're there to provide value and teach, but their results really are dependent on them.
On them. And I learned that the hard way. And it goes back to how you were saying that I'm gonna be a coach, I'm gonna help out everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Yep.
It's like how we were saying earlier, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't force them to drink it. I showed up, I did my part, but then it turned into this thing that I didn't ask for. At the end of the day, like, I'm here to listen because I'm not gonna be a dick, But if I'm busy with somebody else, it's like, bro, like I would literally have meetings with somebody, and I would get a phone call from him, and it's like, bro, like your phone call was tomorrow at this time. Can you please honor that? Like, I'm busy with XYZ.
Well, it's a coach apprentice relationship, right? Like you have to honor it in that perspective, right? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I 100% hear you.
So I learned the hard way. I learned that you can't really help everybody, bro. And it goes back to full circle how you were saying. I'm not everyone's coach.
Yeah.
Or I'm not everyone's mentor,
But you are meant to help somebody, right?
Yeah,
like there's people here, like, you were talking about faith earlier. Like I 100%, like I believe in God, I don't go to church or anything like that, but I have a relationship with God. And I feel like there's people on this earth that I'm meant to help. Like, and also like part of finding that is like, you have to narrow down, you have to niche down, and it's all a journey, bro.
It's it can be very painful at times too, but the next day comes and you're like, oh, that was hard, but I'm here. I'm still kicking. I'm still going, but yeah, dude, I definitely feel like, I feel like another thing too is, I mean, I'm not sure if this is like a thing in the fitness, but I feel like barbers will join a mentorship, and then just because they're in the mentorship, they think they're guaranteed results. And it goes back to how you were saying the results are like based on what they output. The output.
It takes work, right? Yeah, it takes some work. Like the investment is one thing; it's a step for sure.
Right.
It's right. It shows that you're ready to make a change. But there's people that like, and they don't consciously think this. Like sometimes it's just in the back of the head. Some people think just because you sign up, all of a sudden it's gonna work. Like no, bro. Like the whole point is like it takes accountability and it takes showing up. Like just like this is what I've learned over time, right? Like fitness, there's habits to be successful there. But when you go into business, there's habits that you have to be successful there. And my coach and my mentors talk about this all the time, right? Like it's the small little mundane things that you know that you need to do every single day that are going to keep you to be successful, right?
It could be as simple as washing your dishes, dude.
Yep.
It could be as simple as you sticking to a diet. I think that's one of the things I struggle with is just sticking to a diet. Training is the easy part.
Yeah.
Well,
working out is the easy part for sure.
I can do that. I can do that 4 days a week, no problem.
Nutrition is a full-time job.
But nutrition is a holy crap. It's just breaking those habits that we're talking about earlier.
I'll even speak from my own perspective, right? When I started going on social media, like, bro, I take back anything negative I've ever said about an influencer, all that, because now that I'm in this world,
it's like, a lot.
Sorry, influencers, anybody, but
it's a lot, bro.
It is tedious work. It's self-development to a point where like you don't realize how much you nitpick about yourself until you're seeing yourself on camera.
Yeah,
but more than anything, it's like now what I've learned over this past year is like there's a level of daily habits that I have to stick to if I want this business to be successful.
Definitely, bro.
So it goes from anything, right? Whether it's fitness, whether it's business, whether it's social media.
And that goes back to when you were telling me before the podcast, is like how you asked me, how did I get so comfortable being on camera? Honestly, bro, I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
Like, there's the top people that are killing it in the industry, bro, are in front of a camera, not giving a fuck about what they look like or knowing that they're fucking up, but they're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to like, oh, well, I didn't like how it looked. Okay, well then change it.
Yeah.
You can literally change that, you know?
And same with me, bro. Like I've gotten to the point, like people tell me, dude, you're confident on camera. And I'm like, I wasn't always like, and I still don't feel confident.
No, I do. Same here. I think I recently started doing talking head videos on TikTok, and one of my students was like, hey, I love those videos. Like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, here's a framework for that. You literally have to come up with the script, use a teleprompter app. Don't just like, that's one of the easiest way to start.
Yeah.
Because then once you develop the being on camera,
it's like a muscle. It's like a muscle.
Exactly. Yeah. It just becomes easier and easier and easier. And there's no way it can get harder unless you're trying to like, what's it called? Unless you're trying to go for like, for example, a podcast. A podcast can be a little bit different because you're typically going for more than 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty hard. If like my thing is, if you can talk about your line of work for more than an hour, you're an expert, bro. But if you can't do that, then it's a good perspective. Then we gotta, work to do. We got work to do. A lot of people don't get that. Like I can literally sit here and talk about my frameworks all day, bro.
Yeah,
like, I'm sure you can do the same thing too. I'm sure you can talk about fitness all day, and that makes you the expert. A lot of people, and then to you, it's like, nah.
Yeah.
But then
it comes to the imposter syndrome. You don't think you know enough.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Oh my gosh. But I think imposter syndrome is one of the hardest things to kick. But once you kick it, bro, don't let it get back in, bro.
For sure, bro.
Don't let that shit back in, bro. So we're nearing the end of the podcast, and one of the things I love doing, and the viewers love this too, is I call this the rapid fire round. It's super easy. Just think of the first thing that pops in your head.
Okay.
So number one, what is one lesson from banking you still use in business today?
Again, I would say like building relationships, sales, like no matter what you're doing, you're connecting with people. And I feel like everybody needs to have some kind of retail job at some point, because if you don't know how to talk to people, you're going to be screwed whatever. No matter what you're doing, you need people skills, straight up.
I definitely feel like you are where you're at because you were sold to.
Yeah.
Sales is everywhere.
Yeah.
You are where you're at today because you were sold that thing or whatever it is. You know? What is the best investment you made in yourself this year?
Going to that business retreat in Texas, honestly.
Love that. What is the most underrated habit for success in fitness?
Walking. Yeah, bro.
I love that because it's so fucking easy.
Yeah, bro. Like you can honestly, like walking is so underrated. Like people think you need to be running I always joke with people, bro. Like people think you need to starve yourself and run 6 miles a day to get fit. That's never going to work. You're going to get skinny fat like I was. But walking is like such an easy form of cardio. You could take steps throughout the day, and it like just staying active throughout the day will get you a lot more results than like trying to pound through 8 hours of workouts. So
Fuck, bro. That's one of the. I think I was like 18, 19 years old.
you're savage, bro. Like I don't even know how you did that.
Just because my friends convinced me to hop on roids, and I was like, okay. I got pretty fucking ripped, but
Yeah,
I definitely I didn't like it.
yeah,
After the cycle, I was like,
done.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm good. It came with a lot of consequences that I wasn't ready for.
For sure.
If you were in coaching, what would you be doing right now?
I'd be a DJ for sure.
Nice.
100%.
DJ Jason.
For sure.
I'm in for that one.
It's going to happen eventually. So I'm not against it.
See you in Dubai, bro. Just living it up, bro. I love that. Okay, so now that I put you in the hot seat, is there anything you want to ask me, whether it be content, whether it be frameworks? Is there anything you do want to ask me?
Oh, that's a good one. Put you in the hot seat. I mean, I think you talked about like the vision, or like, I guess, yeah, I'm a little bit more curious about that, man. Like, what do you see? I don't know, man. I got to construct this question.
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
We have time, bro. I'm good on time.
I'll just kind of make it easy. If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
Computer science, bro.
Computer science.
Yeah, anything with tech.
Yeah.
Anything with tech. I love. Actually, you know what? I take that back, because I actually fucking hated computer science. I take that back. That was a quick response. I would be a videographer.
Okay.
A videographer. I love editing. I love cinematography. I love watching movies just for the sake of it looking like a fucking movie. And I love content. Like I would, if I wasn't a barber, I think eventually I'm gonna leave barbering for that.
Okay.
To be a content just in marketing.
I mean, you're already in the field like a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So
that's what I would be doing, bro. I have such a passion for it now. I've always been around cameras all my life too. Like my mom was always I don't know if you remember those big ass, the bazooka fucking cameras, yeah. So I've always been obsessed with cameras. So yeah, I would definitely be a videographer. But I think cutting hair, just like you, bro, I was very stubborn. I loved cutting hair. I didn't know it. It really took off for me in high school. I remember getting home one day from work, and there was a line of people waiting for me, and boom, here I am 10 years later.
oh yeah, dude.
No, more than that, like 16 to 17 years later, here I am. Just getting better and better and better. I'm obsessed with the craft. I definitely want to I definitely want to get into longer hair, like even women hair.
Okay.
Before I retire from cutting hair. Just because everything about it, bro, just fascinates me.
It's good, man.
Yeah, yo. What's up?
Come on, bro. Oh, sorry.
You go, bro.
What's up, bro?
All right, man. So if there's any more questions that you can think of,
I would just say one more question, man, because I think what really interested me about it is like your vision, man. Because you said it one of the first things you said when I started getting a haircut, but you started saying how you want to build up, you want to create the space for people to really know they can do something here in this little town. And because like I said earlier, man, and even me like working at the bank here, like I said, like this town is very at one point closed-minded to a lot of businesses.
Very.
But like, I don't know, bro. What do you see with that? Like, can you paint the picture of what that looks like? Because one, I feel like it's fucking incredible. I feel like you're setting the tone for something that hasn't existed here. And I feel like you're in the right network, right? Like I said, people like Miguel, who's built a little empire here, connecting with the right people. So like, what do you see that, like, I don't know, like if you could just paint the picture, what would you paint?
As far as like where I'm going with this, or what do you mean? Like,
I guess whatever comes to mind, bro.
So yeah, man, Los Banos is very close-minded. It's a very small town. People are very like, oh, you can't charge that for haircut. Well, I'm all right. Well, bet. Watch this. I've never been the type to talk. I've always been the type to do.
Yeah.
And when I came across my mentor, that's why he took me on. He goes, I like that you do and you don't talk. You let the doing talk. So for the people that are watching this and are still wondering, what's going to happen in the future. I firmly believe that we are heading to a market where $75 is going to be the new 25, and I love it because I feel like barbers are so underpaid.
Yeah.
Barbers are so underpaid. Barbers are so undervalued because it's just a haircut. I cannot stand that saying. It hurts me to my core. Because my thing is like, it wasn't just a haircut when you got married.
Fuck yeah, bro.
It wasn't just a haircut when you had that job interview.
Yeah.
I'll even go deeper. It wasn't just a haircut when you got out of jail. I've had people that came out of jail and come got a haircut from me and like, bro, I thank you. It wasn't just a haircut then, bro. I have a date somewhere with the girl. It ain't just a haircut then, right? But why is it? I'm trying to change that here in town.
I think here's what I get from that, right? Like, you're causing a transformation every week, every 2 weeks, and like you're one of the most important people in someone's life, right? Like you said, you know, like they open up to you in other ways that they may not with other people, right? But you're constantly talking to someone, you know, people's stories, you know, people's history, you know, people's past, you know, what's happening next, and you're so much more involved with than what people realize. It's not just a haircut. You build relationships with your clients.
Exactly. So, like my thing is there's short term and then there's long term. I'm in it for the long haul, bro.
Yeah.
That chair, bro, I've heard some things that I'm just like, thank you, God, for allowing this person to talk about this with me.
Yeah.
He's going to go home and he's probably going to hug his wife, or he's probably going to go home and hug his kids. Thank you for allowing this person to express himself and make him feel better. Because at the end of the day, bro, barbers aren't just hair. We don't just cut your hair, but again, how you were saying, you have to learn how to talk to people, bro.
Yeah.
And it's I think the first step is literally learning how to listen. And hey, Barber fam, I really hope you're enjoying this conversation as much as I am. But real quick, if you're a barber struggling to get new clientele online or struggling to shoot content, the whole thing just feels like guesswork to you. There's literally no need to guess anymore. I built my own Skool platform where I show you exactly how to shoot content, what angles work, and how to study other people's content. That way you're not doing the guesswork anymore. So if you're done struggling, feeling stuck, click the link in the description down below and let's grow together. Back to the conversation. And I feel like people always say, "Oh, it's just barbers are always saying the experience." Well, it is. It is. Try going to what's it called, the barbershop, and just walk in, and people are just gonna look at you and not being acknowledged. And let me know how you feel. People just want to be seen, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm trying to change here too. Is I definitely feel like a lot of the shops here in town are led, and I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just going off of what people tell me.
Be transactional.
It's more of a transactional thing where people are just seen as just a conveyor belt, as just for a haircut. Like, oh, I'm trying to get this person in and out for the next person. You have no idea how crazy that is online, where I hear like, oh, if you're taking longer than 30 minutes on a haircut, then you shouldn't be a barber. Like, bro, come on, dude. Like, people value being in that chair from believe it or not, you know. So that's my thing, dude. And you're 100% correct. Like you definitely hit it on the nail when you said it's not just a haircut, bro. There's a lot of things that happen behind the chair, and a lot of people that go unseen. And like I said before, like I thank God for allowing people to share that, because you never know, bro. A lot of people, especially men, bro. Men, I'm a big advocate for men's mental health, and a lot of men don't share whatever they're going through because they feel like it's not manly or whatever. It's like, bro, like you're human first, man. Like,
yeah,
you know, I encourage all men to talk to not just their barbers, to say if you need help, say something. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Tomorrow it's not gonna burn just because you have a problem, bro. It's life. You know what I mean? But if there's anything else, brother, or
no, man, that was fucking incredible, bro.
You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, it definitely was awesome, bro. Like I definitely love having people like Jason on the podcast. You know, definitely leaving an imprint in the industry that he's in. You know, and especially for somebody that's just leaving a job that's safe and going all in on your passion. And for you to sign, this is it.
Take it.
This is it.
It took me 14 years, but don't worry, it's worth it.
Better late than never, right? You know. Believe it or not, bro, a lot of millionaires don't become millionaires after like 42.
Yeah,
it's actually a statistic.
Yeah, the statistic's actually crazy.
It's crazy. Like people don't become millionaires until they're 42. Fucking nuts. But yeah, before we wrap this up, bro, I want people to know where they can find you. Social media wise, are you on just Instagram or?
Yeah, so I'm on TikTok too, but to be honest, I don't really use it too much. So you can find me on there, but my Instagram would be the best way. So it's J_Cardona, CARDONA. You can check out my page there. It's all my fitness content. You got serious value content, but you also got some funny stuff, client testimonials, that kind of
And
stuff.
don't worry,
so.
guys. I'll tag his stuff down below. If you guys want to tap in with him, if you want to inquire with Jason with this fitness coaching, he's all in. So he's all in if you are, right? But yeah, man, I definitely want you guys to. If there's one thing I want you guys to take away from this is take the risk. Take the risk. I promise you, you'll be fine. You'll be fine because nothing hurts more than regret. I promise you that.
The only thing I would add to that is like sometimes taking action it's hard on the people around you, and then the people around you might be the ones that are trying to hold you back. Don't take it personal; they just care, but you still got to do it.
Before we wrap that up, I definitely feel like taking things personal is really hard, especially for the people that are around you. But you really got to learn to detach yourself, and I definitely feel like it's one of the hardest things to do in growth is to detach yourself from things that don't serve you.
Yep.
You'll be fine. I promise you. I promise you. Well, Jason, that was dope, dude. I really hope to have you again for part 2. Hopefully before you go to Europe.
Yeah, we should do a Vegas crew with Josh as well.
That'd be cool. A triple threat. That'd be cool, dude. That'd be like a 3-hour podcast, though.
Yeah.
Shout out Josh. I love Josh. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Later, guys.
All right, dude. That was.
It's fucking